Welcome to Lab Results with Blake podcast. All right, so today we're going to move on our journey of observations of Marcus Aurelius, and we're going to take these observations that we're making of Marcus Aurelius's meditation, specifically in book 11, and we're going to line them out. And we're going to see in what aspects of your daily life, right? What aspects of your body, your being, your balance, your business, your lab life, the results that you want in your paycheck and with your family, right? And with your purpose, with your bank account. How do these things, if we start processing our thoughts, our issues, and our problems and our solutions through the lens of one of the greatest thinkers to ever grace the face of the earth, how do they modify? How do they change? And I'm learning this with you guys. So this is the epitome of practice what you preach. So number 2 observation, I'm gonna share this screen right now, and we're gonna get on it. So share the screen. Should be able to see here. Number 2 observation is be mindful of others' humility, right? Notes here I want you to take in. Remember that every one of your followers, every one of your superiors, and every one of your enemies is a human being that eats and sleeps and so forth. It sounds obvious, but it's easy to belittle or to magnify the importance of others when you are making a decision about them. Remember that every person has dignity and pride. It's a big one. This is a timely one. I'm constantly starting new relationships, and I'm constantly starting, new business partnerships. And whenever I start those business partnerships, I end up with a collision that occurs. No different than you end up with a collision when you're trying to convert a new doctor's office, or when you're trying to close a deal, when you hire a new employee, when you suggest a new risky idea to your spouse, right? To your partner, right? There's a collision that occurs. And regardless, he says, if this is a follower, a superior, right? Which means your leader or your enemy. So remember, he's coming from a time where he has enemies. He's in political power. He's an emperor. He's taking over kingdoms. People are trying out to get him. So, he's going to speak a lot about that. But when you think about the competition that you have in the marketplace, or when you think about competing ideas, when you think about choices that others have to make, and the worldview that we rely on, that we make decisions on, right? That's super important for you to get that there is an enemy of something. There's an enemy or an opposing viewpoint of your current reality. Accept it, realize it, and that enemy has humility. That enemy has humanity, right? So let's dig into this. What I'm hearing right here is that pride, dignity, and pride, right? What makes me think is my ego is not my amigo. Quote from Coach Sam Falsafi, one of my personal coaches and a man that I love very dearly. So my ego is not my amigo, right? So in collision-based sales, one of the things that we discuss, we kind of compare a sales process that to an Aikido practitioner. If you don't know what Aikido is, it's a martial art. Think Steven Seagal, back when he was cool in the 90s. Not saying he's not cool now. I won't take a shot at Steven Seagal. He's a great guy. But some of the stuff he's been doing lately is just weird for my taste. So we got some people listening in. So go on mute, James. So taking the Steven Seagal Aikido approach here, right? What he's doing is he's blending with the energy. That martial art is all about blending with energy. It is the most Christian form of martial arts because our whole target is to protect ourselves from the attacker, right? Protect the attacker from ourselves, protect the attacker from themselves, and protect the attacker from the ground, right? We want to blend with their energy, and we want to send them off into a completely safe direction, right? If you think about engaging with a physician, a provider, a nurse, a front desk clerk, engaging with an employee on a raise, an evaluation, right? Think about the collision that has to occur. And if you go in there in Aikido, if I go in with an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10, with an 8 force, and I meet a 6 force, I'm breaking bones. In fact, if I go in with a 4 and I meet a 6, it's a perfect 10. That's a perfect blend. That's how your sales process has got to be. Okay. So, in collision-based sales, we talk about asleep, awake, aware, like depending on where they actually are, meeting them with the pitch and nurturing them and blending with their current reality. So that way you can expand that worldview. We call it collision-based sales because the collision is necessary to get them to pivot to see something different. So as you're pivoting, you need to be aware there is pride, there is ego, there is humility in even your enemy, right? Yesterday, I'm having a conversation with a new laboratory that we're doing business with, and our processes aren't necessarily aligning. There's not a real clear picture of where we're at. My pride and my ego steps up, and I say something that I wish I wouldn't have said. I brag about something that I didn't need to brag about, right? First thing I woke up this morning and I thought, and I was like, I have got to figure out a way to blend in. I need them to put their processes in picture form. So first thing I did was wrote an email so that way I can capture the spirit and the essence of what I meant to say, not what I actually did say. I'd have to lead the process so that way whenever we take this journey together, that we're actually doing it together, right? Look, man, humanity is about being human. Humility is about being human without pride or arrogance. That's the lesson here, is that you're going to have people that are going to be very prideful over their current process. They're going to protect their desk with their fingertips, right? You walk into a new laboratory that's been through some recent reimbursement cuts, or you walk into a doctor's office that has been through a recent EMR change, right? You walk into a long-term care facility that has turnover, and you ask them to switch to a new laboratory, switch to a new system. And they're thinking about, we can't keep our employees employed for more than 4 weeks. And you want us to do something new. We can't even do what's basic. If you don't understand that and you're not self-aware of your own limitations and your own pride and your ego, it's one of the things he says, it's obvious, but it's easy to belittle or to magnify the importance of others when you're making a decision about them, right? So if you're not self-aware about where you are, it is a recipe for you to magnify what others can do across, say, the entire. We talk about zones of genius, all right? I got people that I work with that are some of the most brilliant scientists in the world. It doesn't mean it translates over to finance. I got people who are some of the best leaders, have military experience, have been badasses on the battlefield, have been great in certain industries. Doesn't mean it transitions over into lab, right? Sales doesn't mean that all of a sudden somebody's going to be able to go and be a doctor. Just like doctor doesn't mean that all of a sudden somebody's going to be great at being a business leader. So understanding your own self-limitations will allow you then to understand the limitations of others who tend to be genius in their niche, in their category. Very rare are you going to find somebody like Marcus Aurelius, who was a genius across multiple categories. It's one of the reasons why we're studying him right now. It's because he realized even his limitations inside of these processes, and he's giving you the advice so that way you can guard yourself against some of those mistakes that people who have less self-awareness consistently make. So look inside yourself today and think about, inside of your body, where is pride and arrogance causing you injury? Last week, I got turf toe right now because I was doing 3 Murphs a week and decided to do one on the beach. Got fatigued. I literally stepped in a hole on the beach. Thought I broke my foot. My body's tired and fatigued because I'm overtraining. Where's that pride and arrogance causing me injury inside of my spirituality and my connection with my purpose? Will I allow myself to look at the money that's coming in this month and have me make a decision based on that instead of the lives that I'm serving and the people that I'm leading? Where's that going to get me? In my family, right? What am I doing inside of my family with my time with my children and my time with my family? where I'm letting pride and arrogance and humility, and humility not take place. Do I look at my wife and do I judge her for doing less in the business realm? Or do I actually meet her as a business partner, as the badass who's running the house and taking care of both kids while I get to have fun on fucking camera and talk to you? And in business, where is that pride and humility causing me injury, where I'm making poor business decisions, right? So realize when you look in the mirror, people who are not self-aware and don't understand their blind spots are their own enemy. You can be the enemy of your own productivity because you're not being authentic with who you are and what you want. Let that sink in. You find yourself in a place and all of a sudden you don't want to be there. You will start burning your shit down. You will go self-destruct on everything. Men typically have a pattern. They build, they burn. They build, they burn, because it's simple to start from the ground up. It's hard to build a skyscraper. Any motherfucker can build a tent. Anybody can build a simple mud shack. People feel great about doing that. Build a skyscraper. It requires you to have a deep-rooted foundation and self-awareness and a thought process like our man Marcus Aurelius.